Hello creatives and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to dive into some tools that not every designer knows, nor does every designer use. However, they're very handy. I use them quite often and I really enjoy them. So let's dive in. If you guys are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I am Angela. I am a graphic designer and illustrator, and I design daily. I do a lot of videos all about design and illustration and a little bit about animation. So I have Adobe Illustrator open right here and my chair is falling. There we go. We have a little badge that we're going to be working with. Now, since it is the month of May, I decided to take a little bit of creative liberty and create this mermaid badge. Mermaid is where a lot of illustrators go on social media and they illustrate mermaids every single day in the month of May. Hence Mermaid. It started in 2016 and it's really quite fun. I really enjoy seeing everyone's creations. This is my take on it. I have a badge seal here, Celebrate Creativity, Mermaid, established in the year, and it's a drawing challenge with a little mermaid tail. So let's jump into our first tool, and that first tool is going to be the Shape Builder tool. Now, if you have an iPad, you probably are pretty familiar with the Shape Builder tool options. Combine, extract, minus front, minus back, and such like that. However, in the desktop version, I mean, they do kind of have it for iPad, but in the desktop version, they have an actual tool for it. And it's right over here in the left toolbar if you have your left toolbar expanded or wherever you place your main tools. Mine's over here on the left. It's right next to the puppet work tool. What we're going to use this on is this mermaid tail that I'm going to zoom in here for you. So here's our mermaid tail. I have 3 parts that make up the tail. So we're going to select all of these shapes with our direct selection tool. Let's do that. There we go. I'm going to choose the Shape Builder tool from our toolbar, and wherever you hover, it's going to have like this pointillated pattern over the top to let you know that, hey, this is what you are going to be selecting. So everything that you want to be included in the shape, which I'm going to include all of this, we're going to click and drag over all of the shapes. So whatever you click and drag over is going to create that shape for you, just like so. I'm going to deselect it by just clicking anywhere outside. This is not lined up. You guys may notice that I do have a guide here. So this is this bright teal blue line in the middle, just so I can keep all my elements lined up with each other. That way everything is evenly weighted. So now we have our mermaid tail. Let's choose a mermaid color. I do have my swatches already pre-selected here. Let me see if I can show you that window. Okay, so I have my swatches already selected here, so I'm going to select the shape, and then I'm going to choose this beautiful mermaid color. It's kind of like a teal, kind of like aquamarine, if any of you remember that movie. That is our mermaid tail. Moving on from the Shape Builder tool, it's more of a process that I would like to showcase to you guys. I wanted to create this from the mermaid tail. It's going to be a little accent element piece that's going to go behind Established 2016. So I'm going to move over here to my other artboard. This is what we are going to be creating, this icon right up here, this little element right here. We're going to select our mermaid shape. Go up to Effect. Now you may not be able to see this, but on the top toolbar where it says Effect, you're going to click on that. We're going to go to Distort and Transform, and then we're going to go to Transform. A pop-up window will appear for you guys. From this pop-up window, it's a Transform Effect window. We're going to rotate at an angle of, let's just say 45 degrees. We'll reflect on both the X and the Y axis. You see some weird things happening, but don't worry, it's gonna all come together. I'm gonna do 8 copies, I guess. Press OK, and there is your icon shape. Once you press OK, you're gonna select the shape, go up to the top toolbar, select Object, and select Expand Appearance. You can set all of your own shortcuts for these. However, that's going to be another video. Now that you've expanded it all, you can then go to your Pathfinder, which is this double page over here on your right toolbar. select combine all for that, and it'll combine the shape together. I'm going to take this and pull it over back to our icon badge. I'm gonna line it up. Always make sure you line things up, holding down Shift and Alt if you're on a PC, or I believe it's Shift and Command. Is it Command? Someone let me know in the comments below. I haven't used a Mac in a while. Shrink it down just like so. Here is what we have so far. Shape Builder tool is very, very handy for creating your own unique shapes. I could have also used the Shape Builder tool to combine all of those mermaid tails together for that element shape that we created using Distort and Transform. But the transform effect is going to be super, super handy if you want to create your own unique shapes, your own unique different elements. Like if you want to do anything that's like vector frames that are completely unique, you can use that effect. And it's super, super fun and very handy. The next thing that we are going to do is we're going to use another tool called the Width tool. Now the Width tool is right over here. It kind of, to me, looks like a gesture hat. However, it is quite handy, especially if you want to create some really fun effects with stroke lines. Before we get to our Width tool, we have some stroke lines here on the badge, but you see these end caps here? They're very sharp, and mermaids are not sharp. Mermaids are nice and fluid because they live in the ocean. I'm going to pull up my stroke window, which does not seem to be here. If you can't find your windows, just go up to the top taskbar, go to window, and then choose whatever window you're looking for. And that one popped up, perfect. So this one has under weight, you can see the weight of your stroke. It also has caps, corners, and a line stroke. So what we are going to do next is we're going to choose the round cap, which is in the center there, and it rounds out the end of your stroke line, which I really, really like. Keep that selected. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Use that Width tool. So go ahead and select your Width tool. I do have shortcuts for mine, but I'm going to select them for you. Mine's on my left toolbar right above that Shape Builder tool, which we used earlier. So let's select that. We are then going to click and drag outwards to make the width of that stroke much thicker in one area. And then we can make it much thinner in another area, just by clicking and pressing inwards. And then you click and press outwards. You can make it thicker as well at the bottom. And we can make this look really fun. Now let's make this the same color as our mermaid tail, just for consistency. Oh, and of course, I always do this. Okay, so if you happen to mistakenly choose a fill color instead of a stroke color, you can go right over here to your left toolbar, press this angled double arrow, and then press the null down below it to just get rid of the fill, because we want it on the stroke. That is how you use the Width tool. All right, now the next thing I want to show you guys is something that we're going to be doing to the word mermaid. And this is going to be done right over here. It's not something that everyone utilizes and that everyone uses. I'm not entirely sure why. However, I do find it quite handy sometimes. So we have text right here, and I'm using League Gothic. We're going to create outlines. I have a shortcut for this, but you can go up to Type on the top toolbar up here, and you can go to Create Outlines. It is a little bit more than halfway down on the selections under the Type toolbar there. Once we have this as outline, we can then go to Effect, and go to Warp, and we can go to Wave. Now, I don't see a lot of designers using these types of effects. I'm not entirely sure why. However, they can give you some really cool looks here, as you can see. That's looking pretty good. The two end letters, M and Y, aren't really working out so well, but I'm gonna press OK anyway, and then we are going to expand, go to Object and Expand Appearance. That way we have our points here. I'm gonna zoom in on those end ones. Choose the white direct selection tool and pull those handles in the way that they should be going to go along with the warp. There we go. And then we're gonna go all the way over here to the Y. And we're gonna do the same thing. This is looking a lot more believable. My chair fell. Can make a really cool effect for your text and your fonts and such. So let's go ahead and put this in place of this one. Zoom out a little bit. Let me put a drop line there. Just put a guideline. There we go. You may be pretty familiar with all the effects in the effects toolbar. However, they're just not widely used for some reason. But you can get quite a few fun and interesting effects done to make your pieces look a little bit more intriguing, a little bit more fun. For instance, here's another one that for some reason just doesn't get used. And this is a tool. You can either use it as the tool or you can use it as the effect. But there is a tool called the Shear tool, and the Shear tool is quite interesting. You can get quite a bit of use out of it. Shear this down, and you can even, I believe it's Alt-click. And when you Alt-click, you get this little pop-up window. Gives you lots of different choices for what you want. Bring this down in size a bit so you can see it better. So with the Shear tool, you can get effects such as this one. And since this is not in outlines, we can even bring down our tracking. Whoa, it's not what I wanted. There we go. I'm gonna bring down our tracking a little bit so it can fit in this space. And you can see how this can be really helpful when creating those really nice depth text effects. So you can get some really cool effects out of the effects toolbar, and that Shear tool is really quite handy depending on what kind of effect you're looking for. I personally, for this badge here, I like the wave effect for mermaid, but this over here is really quite cool and fun and handy too, so you can make a lot of cool things. These are just some quick tools that you can utilize to make some really fun stuff. And let me change this over to the color. There we go. So that way it's all balanced in the center. I hope you guys will use some of these tools yourself. And if any of these were new to you, go ahead and explore them further. They're quite fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a like if you did and subscribe if you have not already. And I will see you in my next video. See you soon, creatives.